The store looked normal from outside, but inside, a silent test had already begun, one that would soon change lives forever. A tired, dirty old man walked in slowly, his clothes torn, his face hidden under a rough beard, eyes quietly observing everything. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments what time is it and where are you watching from. Let's start. He wasn't just any beggar, though no one could tell, because behind that weak posture was a powerful man with a painful plan. Years of building a billion-dollar company had taught him one thing: money shows success, but people reveal the truth. He had heard whispers, complaints about his staff, but he needed to see it with his own eyes, not reports or fake smiles. So today, he chose to walk in as nothing, to feel how his employees treat someone who has nothing to offer in return. At the counter stood a young woman, busy but calm, her eyes tired, yet holding a quiet kindness the world had not broken yet. The old man stepped closer, hands shaking slightly, asking softly for some water, his voice weak but filled with hidden purpose. Behind the counter, two other workers noticed him, their expressions quickly turning into silent judgment and careless amusement. The air shifted, not loudly, but enough to show the difference between hearts that care and those that only pretend to. And in that moment, without anyone realizing, a simple request for water became the beginning of a life-changing truth. The young woman paused for a second, looking at the old man's trembling hands, her heart sensing a pain words couldn't explain. She glanced behind her as soft laughter came from her co-workers, their eyes filled with mockery instead of basic human respect. One of them whispered something rude, assuming the old man couldn't hear, but every word landed deep, testing unseen patience. The old man stayed quiet, lowering his gaze, playing his role perfectly, but inside he was carefully noting every reaction. The woman ignored the noise behind her and reached for a clean glass, her movements gentle, her expression serious yet kind. She filled it with fresh water, not rushed, not careless, but with dignity, as if serving someone who truly mattered. As she handed it over, her fingers slightly touched his, and for a moment both felt something real pass between them. The old man looked up at her, surprised not by the water, but by the respect she showed without asking for anything back. Behind them, the laughter grew louder, one co-worker joking about calling security, treating the moment like cheap entertainment. The woman's face tightened slightly, not in anger, but in quiet disappointment at the hearts she worked beside every day. She spoke softly, asking the man if he needed anything else, her voice carrying warmth that no money in the world could buy. And as he took that glass, his eyes changed just a little, because in that small act he had already seen something unexpected. The old man slowly drank the water, his hand still shaking, but his eyes now fixed on the woman with quiet curiosity and respect. He placed the glass back carefully, as if it meant more than just water, like it carried a feeling he hadn't expected to find. Behind him, the co-workers rolled their eyes, clearly annoyed that the moment wasn't ending the way they had hoped or joked about. One of them stepped forward slightly, his tone sharp, telling the old man not to stand there too long and disturb real customers. The words were harsh, unnecessary, but the old man nodded silently, staying in character, letting their true nature reveal itself. The woman immediately stepped in, her voice calm but firm, telling her co-worker to step back and let the man finish peacefully. A brief silence filled the space, not loud, but heavy enough to show a line had just been quietly drawn between right and wrong. The old man watched her closely now, noticing how she chose respect over fear, even when it could cost her at work. He decided to go further, testing deeper, asking in a weak voice if there was any small job he could do for some food. The co-workers laughed again, louder this time, mocking the idea, as if kindness itself had become something to laugh at. But the woman didn't laugh. She thought for a moment, her mind weighing rules against humanity, her heart already choosing. And, in that second, the test moved to its next stage. The woman took a deep breath, knowing the rules were strict, but her heart refused to ignore a man clearly in need. She looked around carefully, then spoke softly, saying there might be a small task he could do if he was willing to try. The old man nodded quickly, his eyes showing hope, though inside he was watching closely, measuring her courage. Behind them, the co-workers exchanged looks, clearly disapproving, one of them shaking his head as if she was making a mistake. The woman ignored them and handed him a broom, asking him to help clean the entrance area just for a short while. It wasn't much, but it was dignity, something the old man valued more than anything in that moment of silent testing. He stepped outside and began sweeping slowly, his weak body struggling, yet his effort honest and quietly determined. From inside, the co-workers laughed again, mocking his slow movements, turning his effort into another moment of cheap humor. The woman watched through the glass, her expression serious, not proud, just quietly hoping she had done the right thing. Minutes passed, and the old man kept working without complaint, every movement proving something deeper than he could say. Customers walked by, some ignoring him, some staring, but none knew that a powerful truth was unfolding before their eyes. And as the dust settled under his broom, something else was clearing too, a hidden reality that was about to be exposed. The old man finished sweeping slowly, his back slightly bent, but his effort honest, every movement carrying quiet dignity. He walked back inside, holding the broom carefully, as if returning something important, his eyes once again searching faces. The co-workers smirked, one clapping sarcastically, treating his effort like a joke instead of recognizing simple human effort. The woman stepped forward, ignoring their behavior, and thanked him sincerely, her voice soft but filled with real respect. She moved to the counter and quietly packed some leftover food, making sure it was clean and still good to eat. Rules echoed in her mind, but her heart spoke louder, telling her some things matter more than policies written on paper. She handed him the food gently, not like charity, but like something he had earned with his effort and honesty. The old man froze for a second, surprised again, not by the food, but by the dignity she refused to take away from him. His eyes grew slightly wet, though he quickly looked down, staying in character, hiding emotions that were now real. Behind them, one co-worker warned her in a low voice that she could lose her job for giving away store items like that. She didn't respond, only gave a small nod as if she already understood the risk but had made her choice anyway. And in that quiet moment, the test reached deeper, because now it wasn't just about kindness, it was about sacrifice. The old man held the food tightly, his hands trembling, not from weakness now, but from emotions he hadn't expected to feel today. He looked at the woman once more, as if trying to memorize her face, her kindness becoming something he could not ignore anymore. Behind them, the co-workers grew more serious, one stepping closer, warning that the manager would hear about this soon. The woman stayed calm, her face steady, but inside she knew the consequences were coming, and they wouldn't be small. The old man slowly turned to leave, taking a few steps, then suddenly stopped, as if something inside him refused to move forward. He turned back again, this time standing straighter, his weak posture fading slightly, his presence quietly beginning to change. The co-workers noticed it first, their laughter fading, confusion replacing it, sensing something was no longer the same. The woman looked at him too, her eyes narrowing slightly, feeling a shift she couldn't explain, but clearly understood. He reached up slowly and removed his worn cap, then touched his beard, his hands no longer shaking the way they were before. Silence spread across the store, not forced, but natural, as if everyone felt a moment was about to reveal something big. The air grew heavy, every second stretching longer, every eye now fixed on the man they had just treated like nothing. And in that exact moment, the truth stood at the edge, ready to break through and change everything they believed. The old man slowly removed his fake beard, revealing a clean, sharp face beneath, his eyes now calm, powerful, and impossible to ignore. Gasps filled the store instantly as recognition hit like lightning, because the man standing before them was no ordinary person anymore. He was the owner, the billionaire they had only seen in pictures, the man who built everything they worked under without question. The co-workers froze in place, their faces losing color, every mocking word they spoke now echoing back with unbearable weight. One of them tried to speak, but no words came out, fear tightening his throat as regret started settling deep inside him. The woman stood still too, shocked, her mind racing, replaying everything she had just done, unsure if she had crossed a line. But the man looked only at her, his expression not angry, not proud, but deeply moved by something rare he had just witnessed. He stepped closer to her slowly, his presence now commanding respect, but his eyes still holding that same quiet gratitude. Then he turned toward the others, his gaze sharp now, asking them one simple question about how they treat people with nothing. Silence answered him, because excuses felt meaningless, and for the first time they truly saw their own reflection clearly. The air grew heavy with guilt, regret spreading across their faces as the reality of their actions became impossible to escape. And in that powerful moment, the test ended, but the consequences had just begun, and they were about to change everything. The billionaire stood silently for a moment, letting the weight of truth settle in every corner of the store where fake smiles once lived. He looked at his employees one by one, not shouting, not angry, but deeply disappointed, which hurt far more than any loud reaction. He said success was never about profit alone, but about how they treat those who can offer nothing in return at all. The co-workers lowered their heads, shame visible on their faces, realizing they had failed a test that truly mattered in life. Then he turned to the woman again, his voice softer now, thanking her for showing humanity where others chose cruelty without reason. He told her that kindness without fear is rare, and people like her are the reason the world still has hope left inside it. Right there, in front of everyone, he offered her a better position, not as a reward, but as recognition of her true character. Tears filled her eyes as she accepted, not because of the promotion, but because someone finally saw her heart and valued it. The others stood frozen, learning a lesson that no training could ever teach, one that would stay with them for the rest of life. That day, the store didn't just change its staff, it changed its soul, reminding everyone what truly makes a person valuable. The story ends here, but the mystery lives on. Like, subscribe, and return for the next unforgettable journey. And somewhere beyond wealth and power, one simple act of kindness proves stronger than everything money could ever buy.